Evolution.
Correct. We had started with the second part of the lesson, that is evolution. Okay. So heredity part we had completed. We had introduced the topic of evolution. I had explained you about something called origin of life. Correct? You remember that properly? Something called the Big Bang theory. Right? Because when we are talking about evolution of life on the earth, the important point is how this entire life on the earth it started, it appeared. Right. So as I said, there are a lot of religious theories and all. Okay. So there are a lot of religious theories and all which are there, but science always depends upon or accepts only that where there is evidence. That is a very important part, right? So according to that, there was this, just hold on a second. Okay. So according to that, there was this one theory that we were talking about, and which was called as the Oparin-Haldane theory of chemical evolution of life. Okay, right? Initially, there was only simple small atoms and molecules present, which later on assembled, and there were other big molecules which assembled and finally gave rise to biological molecules, right? So as we have seen the structure of DNA, right? Nucleic acids, nucleotides, they are big molecules. So they were produced during evolution, which slowly started leading towards the fact that there are cells which are produced. That's how the primitive cells were first produced. Okay. Then, according to the five kingdom system, I had told, right? Okay, like initially, the group which was formed were the kingdom Monera, where there are prokaryotic cells. I had mentioned about prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. You remember that? Right? The simplest meaning is it is prokaryotic cell does not have a proper well-defined nucleus. Eukaryotic cell has got a proper well-defined nucleus. Okay, so initially the life forms which started were the prokaryotic ones. Later on, it evolved towards eukaryotic ones, right? And that's how we have the five kingdoms ready with us. We belong to kingdom Animalia, right? So the life evolved. All of you must have understood the direction in which the life has evolved on the earth, and then it got progressed further. Correct, and that's why we are having this huge diversity of wonderful creatures on the earth. Okay, so the names of the kingdoms are Monera, Protista, fungi, plants, and animals. Getting it? The evolution also took place in the same direction. So if there is a question like between Protista and fungi, which organisms evolved first? So what will be your answer?
Protista.
Correct. Okay, the organisms which were Protista, they evolved first, and from them all the other organisms. Okay. Okay, so this direction all of you must be aware about. Okay, have you understood properly? Yes, Abhirami, there is some network issue at your end, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Just try and concentrate. Okay. Okay. So now the next part, as this is where I suppose we stopped last time, that is about the evidences for evolution. That is a very important part now, right? So as I told in the beginning, and as we have discussed in the previous session also, that whenever we talk about such theories, Okay, this is how it has happened, okay, in the biological world. So the main point is, how can you be sure about it? There has to be some proof, right? If scientists are coming up with something, they should be always coming up with some example or with some evidences. The literal meaning of the word evidence is proof, right? So in this previous slide, if you remember, I have shown you something. There is this point written over here. See, all species on the earth have a common ancestor. Correct? That is a very important point you should remember now. Okay, what is the meaning of that? As you can see, this chart is giving you a full idea about all the 5 kingdoms, right? So if you compare randomly any 2 organisms, if you compare randomly any 2 organisms, like say mushroom and a tomato, or a deer and amoeba, any random organisms, okay, it is said that though they are very different from each other, but still there are a lot of similarities between them. Okay, the reason is all of them are ultimately connected to one ancestor which was evolved first. From them, the other groups have come up. So the evidences for evolution are ultimately pointing towards that fact. Okay, what are the ways in which we can say that all species have a common ancestor? Okay, so see, the first group of evidences is about the morphological evidences. Okay, can you tell me what is the meaning of the word morphology? The literal meaning of the word morphology?
Physical.
Huh? Okay, visible. Morphology means?
Physical.
Not exactly physical in the sense, morphology means the external appearance. Morphology means external appearance, how an organism looks. Okay, so suppose if you are asked, what is the color of a crow? What will you answer? What is the color of a crow?
Black.
It is
Black.
So what's the morphology? Getting it? What are the colors of leaves in plants? It's green.
Green.
So that's a morphology. Okay, a banana plant has got a large leaf. That is morphology. Getting it? Mango is yellow in color. That's a morphology. Okay, animals have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 nose. That's a morphology. So when you say morphological evidence, the main point is that organisms have similar morphology. Various groups of organisms have similar morphology, because of which we can say that there are ancestral connections between them. Okay, see this. Now, what can you see on the screen? Can you tell me? According to evidence of evolution, can you just tell me what common points can you see in these animals? They are very cute animals as such. There is
Having 2 eyes, one nose.
eyes.
Yes, eyes.
2 eyes. Yes, right. Can everyone see that all the 4 animals that you can see on the screen have 2 eyes?
Yes.
Correct. What else? So that's a morphological feature, 2 eyes. Right. What else? Look at the nose, look at the ears, the tail, the number of legs. Can you see common points between them?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So this is a morphological evidence. See, all four animals are different. There's a koala bear, okay, there is a kangaroo, right? There's a squirrel-like animal. All are different groups of animals. They belong to one common group as such, but they are different species. But there are morphological similarities between them. So why is it possible? Why is it so that all such animals, they have two eyes in the head? Why there are no eyes in the stomach? कभी हुआ ऐसा? यस इशिका, किसी जानवर को देखा है जहाँ पे कोई दो आंख है पेट के ऊपर लगा हुआ है? No, right? Have you ever seen an animal where a tail is on the head?
No.
No. The reason is there is some pattern, and the pattern is fixed across all the groups. The eyes will always be here, ears will always be here, tail will always be at the back. See, morphological evidence. See, there was one common pattern which was followed. Getting it? Look at another example. What are these? All of them are together grouped under which group? क्या word बोल सकते हैं? Yes, Abhirami. All these animals which you are seeing, they belong to which group? Very clearly seen. ये वाला देखो. बोलो दीपाली.
Birds.
They are all birds. दिख रहा है ना? All of them
Yes.
are
Yes.
birds, right? So you'll be learning about birds in classification of animals in detail, but for now, as an evidence of evolution, अगर सारे के सारे birds हैं, all of them are different. Now you can also notice lot of birds around you. कभी अपने खिड़की में आकर बैठ गए या anywhere in TV and all you must have seen, right? So if I ask you what are the common points among birds, what will you say?
Wings.
They have wings.
Point is they have wings. And why do they have wings? Why do they have wings and feathers?
To fly.
To fly. So isn't that a morphological feature? Like there are some features in the morphology which is common across so many species of birds. Now bird diversity is so huge. We have the smallest bird like a hummingbird, and we have a largest one like an eagle or a Siberian crane. Kitna diversity hai dekho. But all of them have similar feature. Not only wings, they also have beaks. Birds, they also have beaks, and they use it for so various purposes: to catch food, to pick up things, right? To feed the young ones, right? And such things. So beaks are modified mouths which they have. So that's a morphological evidence. Correct? Have you ever come across any bird which has got lips like us, talking like us? No. Right? Have you ever seen a bird which is walking on four legs like us? No. So there is some common pattern. All birds lay eggs. And for laying eggs, they make nest. So there are so many different beautiful ways in which they make their own nest. कितने अच्छे तरीके से nest बनाते हैं, you must have seen. Correct? And after making the nest, they will lay the eggs in that. Then the young ones will hatch. And after the young ones hatch, they know that they have to take care of their young ones. If at all you come across the nest of an eagle, suppose, you try to go near the young ones, what will happen? Yes, Harsha? If you try to go near the young ones of an eagle, will it invite you or welcome you?
No, it will attack.
It will attack. Even if you don't mean any harm to the young ones, it will just attack. Yes or no? Why? Why it will do that? Why does it do that? These are all things that you notice around, no? कि अगर ईगल के बच्चों के पास जाते हैं तो it will just attack. Why? Because
They protect themselves.
they protect their young ones, right? So this is something you will find common across every species. To try to go near the young ones of any bird species, it will just drive you away. The reason is protection. So this is a common pattern. Getting it? So that's a morphological evidence. These examples you can give and say that there is some common point where all this started, and every species has got this own diversity. Now we say that every bird has got wings and feathers. That's a common point. But among the wings, every bird has got its own color, own shape, own architecture, size, everything. The difference is in that respect. Correct? Understood the meaning of this, everyone? Right? Now look at this. What can you see here in this second picture? All of them are?
Flowers.
They are flowers. Correct? So in the world of flowers also, again, there is a similar diversity. So many flowers and all you must have noticed around you. Many plants you grow at home also. Right? So can you notice all of them having their own beautiful structure, color, flower, fragrance, etc. Correct? We use it for so many different purposes. Like girls know better, mogre ka gajra lagate, right? In case of different occasions and all. So why do you prefer mogra for making a gajra? Yes? Why don't you make a gajra of onions? You know very well, the morphology doesn't suit it. Yes or no? Right? So every flower has got its own importance. And why does a plant produce a flower? Can you tell the answer? Plants क्यों produce करते हैं flowers? जैसे मोगरा है again example. Why does a plant produce that fragrant flower? इतना खुशबूदार है, इतना अच्छा लगता है, क्यों बनाते हैं वो? What's the reason? Any other flower for that matter, rose वगैरह बोलो. Yes, Sundar. Any answer? Flowers क्यों produce करते हैं? Because the flower in a plant is the reproductive organ of the plant. It produces flower to carry out sexual reproduction. The flower is the one that produces the male and the reproductive gametes, male and the female gametes. Then there is fertilization. After fertilization, the fruit with the seed is produced. Getting it? 1 or 2 months back, everybody was having mangoes, nicely relishing mangoes, right? So उसका pulp हमने खा लिया, उसके seed को हमने फेंक दिया. तो वो बना कैसे था? Because the mango produces flowers, and then the flowers, what happens? They produce the seeds. So somewhere in the month of February, March, the flowering of the mango begins. And that's why in the month of April, May, you start getting the fruits. As an example, I'm telling. So flowers are produced basically for carrying out reproduction, producing the fruits and the seeds, so that whenever the seed is produced and that is thrown somewhere, it will germinate and give rise to a new plant. That's the plant ways of reproduction. जैसे animals eggs lay करते हैं, plants क्या करते हैं? Seeds produce करते हैं. In a very broader sense for now. You understood that? Okay. So all these examples that we saw, these 3 main examples. Now what are these? You can.
Snake.
You know very well the different types of snakes, right? So many different types of snakes are there,
Yes.
right? But all of them have similar points. What are they? Snakes में क्या similarity है?
Crawl.
They crawl. Correct? They slither on the ground. They don't have limbs. Okay, they have a long cylindrical body. and they have scales on the body. So that is the common point. But all snakes are different. Again, there are a lot of colorful snakes also you get. Green colored ones, red bright colored ones. Some are aquatic also, water snake, right? But all of them are carnivorous. And all of them have the poison glands. So that means what? Morphologically, there are some similarities. There's one common ancestor from where these type of organisms started. That's a morphological evidence. So understood morphological evidence, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So in case of classification of animals, that lesson which you have, there I will show you more examples of animals. Okay. Now the second evidence is called anatomical evidence. Okay. Anatomy. जैसे morphology के हमने क्या explain किया? The external features. That's called morphology. So anatomy stands for the internal structure. Okay, morphology means external features, so anatomy means internal structure. Okay, so internal structure is not directly visible to us, but it is a part of the structure of the organism. So anatomy, when you see, okay, evidences कैसे बनते हैं पता है? Because जैसे in morphology we have seen that different groups of animals have similar common points between them, pointing towards the fact that they had a common ancestor. Same way, anatomical evidences also point out towards the same way. Okay, so first, under anatomical evidences, we have three main headings. Okay, the first one is called homologous organs. Okay, we'll study that first. So, what are homologous organs? Okay, now here as an example, you can see organs, okay, which are similar in their structure but different in their functions. They are called homologous organs. Okay, I repeat, organs of different groups of animals which are similar in their structure but different in functions. They are called homologous organs. Okay, so as an example, now here what you can see, you know this animal called bat. Okay, bat is a flying mammal, chamgadad, right? So in the case of a bat, you know very well, it can fly, so it has got wings. But the wings of a bat are much different from the wings of a bird. A bird has got feathers. A bat has got muscles and bones. Okay. So look at this picture. In this picture of a bat, I'll show you this again. In this bat, there is this one bone. Okay. There are two bones over here. Then there is some wrist bone type over here. And then there are the digits. We are not counting. I'm just showing you the basic arrangement. Okay, one bone over here, two over here, then there are few bones here at this joint, and then there are the digits, the fingers like. Same way, look at this whale. All of you know what is a whale. The blue whale is the largest animal on the earth. Correct? It's an aquatic animal. So in the case of a whale, it has got those fins like a fish. Okay, so the fins of a whale also has got similar pattern of the bones. One bone over here, two of them here, then a few of them at the joints followed by the digits. Can you see the similarity in the arrangement? Can you see the similarities in the arrangement, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct? Then similarly, look at this, the leg of a cheetah. Again, you know what is a cheetah. What is the speciality of a cheetah? Why is it famous? A cheetah is popularly known for its,
Fast running.
yes, it is the fastest land animal on the earth. Right? It can run at a speed of around 120 to 130 km/h. So fast. You can watch some videos and all, you will see how fast the cheetah runs, right? So its legs are very strong. So see the legs again. One bone here, okay, two of them here, few of them at the joints, followed by the digits. Did you notice the similarity?
Yes.
Right? And then who is this? The most dangerous creature on the earth. Sundar knows it better. Right? That is human beings. Okay. So though it is written as man, it indicates human beings, of course. Right? So in the case of human beings, we have hands and legs. The common word for hands and legs is limbs. Okay, hands को बोलते हैं forelimbs, legs को बोलते हैं hind limbs. That's how we say. Okay, so you take the example of any hind limb or a forelimb. So again we have जैसे अपने hand में we have one bone over here above the elbow, correct? Then you have the elbow joint and यहाँ पे दो bones. Then you have the wrist bones, you know, wrist. Okay, followed by your fingers. So again you saw the similarity. That means this is the example where we are comparing a human being with a cheetah, with a whale and a bat. There are four different groups. One is staying, one is flying in the air, one is in the water, one is running on the land. Man does all sorts of things. But still you saw internal structure is having so much of similar structure. If you talk about the functions, the bat wings, what is the function?
Help to fly.
It flies. It helps to fly. Okay, the fins of a whale, what is the function?
Helps to swim.
Swim.
Swimming is the function, right? The legs of a cheetah,
Running.
running.
Run.
I don't need to ask you hands of a man, what is the function? So many of them, right? So that means function wise, they are all different. Structurally, they are all similar. So that becomes an anatomical evidence. Okay, there is some common ancestor between us. Getting it? There is some planning in the line of evolution. And such organs are called homologous organs. Understood the meaning of homologous organs, everyone? Okay.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
organs in different organisms having similar structure but different functions. Okay. Similarly, you can see here also. You can see here also. Okay. There are two examples in plants which are given. Okay. One plant is called bougainvillea. Okay. The very bright colorful flowers they produce and very commonly grown on the compound walls and all. Okay. Other one is cucurbita. Cucurbita मतलब अपना cucumber, ककड़ी वगैरह जो plant होता है ना, that one. So on both of them, they produce this thorn and tendrils. Okay, bougainvillea thorns are for support and protection. Tendrils in cucurbita. Tendril means you can see these wire-like structures. In some of the plants, you must have noticed they produce the spring-like structures and they just coil around the support and they hold it. You must have seen,
Yes.
right? So they are called tendrils. Okay, so structurally they are the same. They arise in the axillary portion and they are for protection. But function-wise, they are different. So they are examples of homologous. See this. This is bougainvillea. You must have seen this plant. And this is cucurbita. Okay, so you can see these tendrils out here, long thread-like, wire-like structures. Okay, and this is bougainvillea flower where you will get the thorns also. So this also you can take it as an example of homologous organs. Okay, so exam point of view, there can be a short note question on homologous organs. You can give such examples and you have to explain what is that. Okay, any doubt in homologous organs, everyone? Understood properly?
No, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ishika, Abhirami, properly understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just everyone, the time is getting up. Disconnect and join back again. We'll continue.